I really wanted to ask you is, have agents figured out your guys' pattern, and are they using it against you?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel comfortable. I mean, we've got Dak signed, we got CD signed, we got Jake Ferguson signed early, we got Osa signed. Every timing's different, every negotiation's different.
Well, I guess
So I don't think there's necessarily any type of thing to figure out here.
Okay, so from my perspective, if you want to go early and you take less than what you would get in free agency, you guys are very willing to do those deals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been that way for a while.
Sure.
But if it's a really great player and they want to wait, I don't think they have any fear that you guys will actually move on.
Okay, well, I mean, that's to each his own. And certainly, like I said, we've had two, if you will, great players, getting paid highest at their position when we did the deal in Dak and CD, and we decided we wanted to do deals with both of them. And then obviously we're in the middle of another, high-profile player, but, each one of them's different in my mind.
Okay, all right, case-by-case basis, I can definitely understand that. From poker, and I'm a poker player, if the table knows your pattern, it's time to change the pattern.
Yeah. You and I'll just have to agree to disagree. I don't think there's a pattern here. How many ways do you want me to say it?
Well, I guess 3 is good enough.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so then my next question, just team-building-wise, is why not? I mean, with all the good players on the team, why not pick one of these years to say, let's throw another $30 million at this thing and shore up all of our weaknesses and really go for it?
Right.
I think the teams in today's NFL that are winning it don't have the holes that maybe they did in the 2000s. Like, there were a bunch of wild card teams getting it done, but I don't think wild card teams are getting it done anymore, Stephen.
Sure. I think, the question is, when you talk about $20 or $30 million, the question is, does it go to Jake Ferguson and any other guys that we want to sign versus what might be available out there? And, and we make a decision that we want to go internally versus externally. That's a decision that we have to make. And, at the end of the day, over the course of a 5-year period, every team that spends to the cap like we do is going to spend the same amount of money. Can you push more into 1 year? And leverage out and push out, of course you can. But over the course of a 5-year period, every team, there's a salary cap, and every team's going to spend to it.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think Philadelphia is really an outlier, so I wouldn't ask you to do something like that. But
right.
Are you guys resistant to a yo-yo of, like, we're going to spend a bunch here, we're going to clear dead money and get a good draft pick? Does that strategy not make sense?
Well, it can in the right situation. I just think every. I don't think there's very many teams out there that are one player away. And, I think you have to manage your team. You have to strategize on what you want to put together. And, we feel like we've checked a lot of boxes in terms of internally thinking that we have fill the holes that we need to fill to be a great football team.
Okay, and I appreciate you answering these questions. I'm not trying to ambush you.
You're not.
Okay, so like during the season or around the calendar, we'll be having these conversations, and there's these questions that pop up, and I feel like, to be fair to you, I should give you a chance to answer the questions here on the show.
Sure.
Because I don't want to be talking bad about you behind your back and then not. But another thing
you
I had
do that, would you?
no, maybe in the name of entertainment.
I'm disappointed.
Hey, and I need to give you and Jerry your props for letting us cook.
Yes.
It's rare to find a flagship radio station that can share honest opinions as much as you guys give us the freedom to at the Fans. So thank you for that. Okay, so then my third question here is, I have a theory that maybe you guys drag out the deals to get engagement from the media, and it's like the best $2 million you can spend having to give Dak a few more.
Well, let's just start off. We don't agree on that. We don't drag deals out. We do deals when there's an opportunity to do a deal. And certainly no one knows what goes on internally with a particular negotiation. But, sometimes agents and players aren't ready to pull the trigger till they see other cards play. Mm-hmm. And what we're not going to do is go out and, do something that's not responsible in terms of, just in the name of getting a deal done 1 month earlier. Go do it and pay the guy another $5 million of your cap space.
Yeah.
And especially when you're dealing, in our particular case, internally with guys that are homegrown here, and we feel like they want to be here. I always felt like Dak wanted to be here. I always felt like CD wanted to be here.
Yeah. I guess there's so much information that's out there. Adam Schefter was reporting, this morning. He was talking about maybe Micah felt like a deal was close, and maybe you guys felt like a deal wasn't close. I think that's what Adam Schefter said this morning. And then the progress stopped, and Micah's like, well, call me, right? And I'm like, well, why would they not just get this thing done if Micah really wants to be here? And I guess one is that he would have to take significantly less than market value for you guys to want to do that contract with him now. And the other would be, it is probably tens of millions of dollars in free brand awareness.
A lot of the things you just said are mostly inaccurate.
Okay. How so?
I'm not going to get into the details of a negotiation, but I'm just saying 90% of what you just said is inaccurate.
All right, that's fair. It's Stephen Jones here with you in the G-Bag Nation. Thank you for answering those questions.
Yes.
That was fantastic.